What's up, everybody? My name is Eric. I'm that one guy. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit that thumbs up, which is the like button if you like what you see. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to keep up with what's going on with me and my world. And today my world is RUROC Helmets. We're gonna take a trip around the Atlas. Okay, no more puns. Today's video is one of those videos that I am making because there's not a video out there for some reason that I could find that does what I'm going to do today, which is to take the last 3 iterations of RUROC helmets and just show you the subtle differences that they have. Now, I've seen videos where they talk about this stuff, but I just haven't seen a good quality video yet where they show me each helmet and show me the little subtle differences between each of the helmets. And so that's what we're gonna do today. We've got the Atlas 3.0, 2 generations ago, Atlas 4.0, which was the previous generation, and they're still making Atlas helmets. I believe they're still making some in the track version and the carbon version. So not gone away. And now we have the EOS. They're not calling it Atlas 5.0. They're calling the EOS a helmet all on its own. And we'll get a little bit into that. If you haven't already checked out, I made a comparison video between the 3.0 and the EOS. So if you're just interested in that because you didn't go with the Atlas 4.0 for whatever reason, then check out that video. I'll have a link for you guys up here, so check that one out. But let's go right into it. The biggest difference between the Atlas 3.0 and the 4.0 are this vent that opens up right here. Previously on the Atlas, to open up the vent here, you had to take the plugs out of the helmet, which you probably don't ride with the plugs anyway because you like ventilation. So they have these rubber plugs that you will put inside the helmet, the actual lining of the helmet. You would put the plugs up in there, and that's how you would shut off the wind passing through your helmet. 4.0 upgraded that, so now all you do to open and close the vent is toggle this button here. It's the same in the EOS helmet. They switched up the look of it and the functionality of this air vent, and it goes up and down, which to me feels simpler, and also the switch feels a little bit sturdier in the EOS. So that's closing off ventilation. The chin actually has a vent that opens and closes in the Atlas 3.0. Of course, it has one in the 4.0. This is the Eclipse. And I was just noticing before I started the video, I was looking into the camera. There's a good reason why they call this the Eclipse, because it kind of just looks like this black blob of helmet that you lose. Like the light can't get to it, like in an Eclipse. So good name. And at any rate, moving along, the functionality of the chin vent or the chin toggle on the Atlas 4.0 didn't really change all that much, but it did change in the EOS. You'll see it kind of rolls up and down on this kind of track. It's a weird thing that they would make a change to, but they did, and so we're looking at the differences, and that's the differences. Now, this is where there wasn't a video out there for me that told me this next thing that we're going to talk about, and that is the form factor of the helmets. Now, typically, I would wear a medium in the 3.0. It was a tight fit, but that's the size that I went with, and the size that fit me pretty well. Moving up to the Atlas 4.0, which is a weird thing that they did. They went from this small, medium, medium, large, large, extra large, and so on, instead of sticking with small, medium, large. So it's that weird system that they came up with. So I actually went with a medium large for my Atlas 4.0. And we're just gonna take a look here. You can see that the opening is slightly larger going from the 3.0 to the 4.0. So that was one of the things that I didn't like, and we'll just do it for you guys here on this video because I'm a people pleaser, and I've tried to mention how this is done. But when you put on the Atlas 3.0, it goes straight down and straight up because there's not enough space between my nose and my mouth and the front of this helmet to do this comfortably. So I've got to go as straight up and off as I can. That's the Atlas 3.0. Atlas 4.0, more room. There's more room because this space my head has to go through is bigger. So when we put the helmet on, again, this is a new helmet, so it's a little bit more snug. Put this helmet on, there's more space between my nose. You probably can't even tell when you see it on the video. There's more space here, so I can actually take the helmet off, lift it up and over like I typically would with my other helmet. The difference between EOS and Atlas 3.0 is huge. I don't know if you can quite see this in the video, but the opening on the EOS is so much bigger than it is on the Atlas 3.0 that there's no problem. The padding though, the cheek pads in the EOS are very tight though. But what you'll notice is there's this big gap here between my nose and the front of the face guard on the helmet. So I have got plenty of space to just take the helmet on and off like I would any other helmet that I've owned before. That probably was my biggest complaint about the Atlas 3.0, is that even though it comes in this small, so you don't have that mushroom head effect when you wear the Atlas 3.0 and probably the 2.0 also, and the original Atlas, which is ancient history now, it has this small form factor. I believe that there was a different shell size, and the large would have put it closer to what we're looking at in the medium large. But as far as form factor goes, I think these are just two different shell sizes going from 3.0 to 4.0. And that if I had gotten a large in the Atlas 3.0, we probably would have been looking at something like this. So you'll notice side by side that these two helmets, there's just a difference in the width of them, slightly in the height of them. And so what you're looking at is that's slightly closer to that mushroom head effect. And definitely when you go to EOS, this is a large. So we go large, medium, and medium. It's this weird progression that they had with RUROC. So we've got all these subtle differences. Also what you have here is you have this similar toolless, although you still have these little tabs to remove the visors for Atlas 3.0 and 4.0. These visors are interchangeable. So you can use the 4.0 visor on the 3.0 and likewise. I noticed when taking off and putting on the visor on the 4.0, it was easier to do. I don't know if they changed something about how these tabs pull out. It felt much easier to do than it did on the 3.0. And then obviously on the EOS, you don't even have tools anymore. It's just this process where you have to pull this tab down on the helmet and then pull the visor out. So no more pieces at all on the EOS. One of the huge changes, again, this is something that didn't change with Atlas 3.0 to 4.0, is that you have the Shockwave Bluetooth device that's right here behind your head, which I loved how this made it so basically your Bluetooth device was invisible when you wore the Atlas helmets, but so much easier to access this Bluetooth. Still very low profile when it comes to a Bluetooth device. So you have the controller and the actual device on this side, and then the battery on this side. Otherwise, the speakers and everything is a very similar setup. I have setup videos for both of these helmets, but not for this one because it's essentially the same when you go from Atlas 3.0 to 4.0 for the Bluetooth setup. So if you wanted to check those out, there's also links in the description to figure out how to set up your Shockwave Bluetooth for the Atlas and the EOS. The closing mechanism, this feels actually like a more solid close. On the EOS helmet, it's a slightly new mechanism. But what I will say, I've been riding with this helmet for a few months now. I've got a couple 100 miles in on my motorcycle, is that it still does this thing where when I shut the visor on my face, it still doesn't want to go all the way down and click into place. That's something that I don't know if I've only had RUROC helmets for a while, so I don't know if that's something that happens on other helmets, but I've closed it down and you've still got to give that extra push. The biggest reason why I noticed it wasn't necessarily that I could hear wind getting in or feel wind getting in. It's that when I do my videos, you can hear more wind noise when it's just slightly not closed, which is how it ends up unless I push it from the top all the way down. So something that I just noticed about RUROC helmets, I am not one of those motovloggers or channels that bags on RUROC. If you can't tell, I'm a big fan of their helmets. I think they're the coolest looking helmets. I think they have the best designs as far as like style, which is why this is the first graphic helmet that I've ever had, because they teamed up with DC, and there's the Batman helmet, which I had, obviously, as a huge Batman fan, I had to get. So I actually ended up buying the Batman because it has this red theme with my Ducati Multistrada. And now with the BMW R12 that we're riding now, I have the Eclipse, which actually this cool like fleck in the paint here in the Eclipse goes really well with the fleck in the paint in the R12. So initially we bought the 3.0 because it was time to get a new helmet, and this gray, I can't remember what the name of this helmet. Obviously, I'll have it on the screen for you here so that we can say for sure. But I bought this helmet because it was like a Black Friday clearance, and I got this for like $200. This one I paid full price for, but it came with the Shockwave bundle. It was time for a new helmet when I got the EOS. Again, we went for the graphic helmet, which was crazy because I've never had graphics on my helmet. But this came with the free Shockwave bundle, so got a deal here. And again, I went with another Black Friday deal to get the Eclipse because I just felt like with the black helmet with the fleck in the paint just went so well with my bike. This is the R12 helmet. Even though we also just got the Bell Bullet, which was also on sale. All right, so I'm done. I'm not gonna say any more. This is the Atlas 3.0, 4.0 all the way through to EOS. Make sure you leave your RUROC helmet questions in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. I do have some experience, so I do know. But one of the things that I will say is that I'm not here to defend RUROC. I'm not an affiliate. They don't send me free helmets. I buy these helmets with my own money. And so I'm fine with being critical about RUROC, but I'm not willing to be unreasonable. And I think all of the videos that I've watched where people just call them out, calling them trash helmets or whatever whatever opinions those might be, they're again, validation. You deserve validation for how you're feeling about your helmet. Of course, I believe there's a more constructive way for you to share your thoughts and feedback to RUROC. So that is the end of this video. Make sure you hit that thumbs up down there if you enjoyed yourself, you found out something new, or you were just like, finally, this video that I haven't been able to find, and here it is. So I appreciate you guys watching. Also, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. My name is Eric. I'm that one guy. If you're out there riding, please be safe, be kind to one another. And I will see you in the next one.